What's your toxic trait that you're proud of? I can detach from people pretty easily. I tell each of my cats that they're my favorite behind each other's backs. You're sick. Can't even look at myself in the mirror tbh. Well, that's because you're looking at a mirror, not yourself. I am militantly aloof. I can work with people for years and never make the slightest bit of connection. I just sort of go about my business. I once worked with a guy for 3 years and never learned his name. Best friend I ever had. We still never talk sometimes. Ron Swanson. They're definitely people I've called friends who I've worked with. I know about their life, their kids, their parents, problems, triumphs, etc. I just don't remember their names. So bad with names. I'm an Olympic gold medalist at procrastination. I thrive under self-inflicted time crunches. I can't perform at a high level without it. I've always had good grades. I'm successful at what I do. I'm proud that my secret hasn't held me back. I also absolutely hate this and wish I could change. If it's a problem today, it'll be a problem tomorrow. And if it's a problem tomorrow, there is no reason to worry about it today. If tomorrow isn't the due date, then today isn't the due date. Never postpone until tomorrow that which you can postpone until the day after. I'm getting stressed out reading these. I wouldn't say it's toxic, but it's scary how much I can love someone and never speak to them again. Edited to say, thank you for all the awards. It warms my heart to see so much interaction. Holy shit, I literally thought I was the only person on the planet like this. It's super easy for me to get close to people and eventually love or be in love with them, but if something goes horribly wrong and I basically have to forget they existed, it's done with relative ease. Do you ever reflect on it? And, if you do, how does it feel? When I think about people I used to know, it feels like I'm remembering something from a movie I watched. It doesn't feel like my life even though I know it is. I get this feeling reflecting on people from my past. Used to have a really tight-knit group of friends about 20 years ago. If I think about those times, it's hard to believe I was ever around them or in the situations we got in. I think that's also part of growing up, 'cause I'm not even close to the same person I was then. This is a really profound thought, and something I think about a lot. You put it into words quite well. Even on a smaller scale, I'll look at myself from a few years ago and wonder what it'd be like to have a conversation with myself, seeing how different I was then as compared to now. It's hard to believe that you can fundamentally change so much as a person in a relatively short time frame. Interesting thoughts. I draw Homer Simpson's head on pretty much everything. It only takes a few seconds for me to draw a Homer. God, I wish you did graffiti in my area. Teresa, popular graffiti artist in Portland, or that does Bart with a speech bubble that says eat pant. You mean Bort Sampson? I'm really good at being alone. I clean when mad. The more mad, the more cleaning. I clean when stressed. It has helped at parties before. I was at one once when a fight broke out and I just instantly started grabbing cans and recycling, wiping up spills, making the place look nice again. It was a small structure and the action was taking place right outside, so when people came back it was like starting the party all over again, lol. I bake when I'm stressed, which is sort of okay, except I also lose my appetite when I'm stressed and I have nobody to eat all the cookies I end up with. Hey, so I'm a stress eater. Better love story than Twilight. I obsess over things and it leads to a lot of social anxiety and difficulty focusing in most social situations. It's also, however, led to me finding some deeply meaningful skills and hobbies. Hey, me too. Except for the meaningful skills and hobbies part. Live fast, eat trash. Are you a raccoon? I got me, you got me. I can function with a criminally low amount of sleep. It's not healthy, but it adds hours to me being able to get things done. It's really helped me career-wise over the years. Sometimes I wish the day had 28 hours actually, because my sleep cycle seems to be 20 hours of being awake with 8 hours of sleep. I go to sleep after 16 hours, I wake in 2 and can't fall asleep for another 8. So I have to live in the world of early birds and be sleep deprived come Tuesday, as I only really get 4 hours of sleep at most. Like it is literally 1 a.m. here now and I woke up an hour ago, Had to wake up at 6 a.m. yesterday, went to bed at 11 p.m., and I will not feel sleepy till 7 a.m. now. I've gotten very good at bouncing people out of my life. Life is too short for BS. Absolutely. The downside to this for me is that it's harder to make friends because I really don't put up with any BS I don't like. Edit, I don't mean I cut out friends because they make a single mistake. I mean if Teresa a persistent pattern of drama, disrespect, and so on. I cut out 2 of my closest friends during the pandemic and I soon realized that they added so little to my life that their absence made no difference. Same thing with the job I recently quit. I realized that I didn't have to put up with the mean girl BS anymore. The older I get, the lower my tolerance for BS, stupidity, lack of communication, and general shitheadedness. I've never once said goodbye at a function outside of direct family. If you look away from me for a minute at a party, Teresa, 95% chance I've slithered towards the door avoiding everyone to go home. I just dislike parties and hate goodbyes, so I'm just not gonna do either if I don't have to. The ol' Irish goodbye. I assume everyone will betray me or burn me somehow, so I have mentally prepared to cut anyone off at a given time and move on. It's a defense mechanism I wish I didn't have, as I used to be a very open and trusting person, but it just took one too many times of being blindsided by the ones I care about. I'm right there with you. My ability to empathize has taken a huge hit as a result. I actually hate the numbness I live with now, but I can't escape it either. I can only hope it will get better with time. In the same way, I love my empathy, but people abuse at me, and detaching is the only way I know how to solve the issue and protect myself and to preserve whatever I have left. I wish it didn't have to be this way, but the people in this world are just too selfish and has very low EQ. Reckless generosity, like in buying beers for random PPL I meet at the club when I'm broke and unemployed. I'm helping random strangers, making myself late for important appointments. Hello, fellow people pleaser. I used to do this, too, and what stopped was when I heard when someone is constantly picking up the tab it looks like they're trying to buy friends. Got me to cool down on grabbing that check. You people pleased your way out of people pleasing. I can make up my mind that I don't care about someone anymore and immediately just stop caring. No build up, no debate, no worrying about if I made the right call. Kind of scary, because sometimes I start to contemplate doing it with everyone, and well, I know that's not a good idea. I kind of do this unconsciously, in a similar but different way. I am not particularly capable of missing people. When they aren't there, I don't think of them. I greatly enjoy my relationships, and I am sad to lose people, but once they're out of my sight for a few days, I simply do not miss them. Imagine my shock and deep relief when I found out that object impermanence is a symptom of ADHD. I thought my whole childhood that I must be secretly a sociopath who didn't have real emotions. Edit, no, it isn't proven, but it is documented. There are many people who experience this, many people who knew they had ADHD but didn't know this could be associated. So far as I know, the idea is fairly new. If this knowledge applies to you, and helps you, far be it from me to put up with actuallys. I wish you all peace and kindness. I'm kind of like this. I realized a long time ago that my life is my road. Many people join me on it for a time, but most of them eventually split off when their road diverges. And that's fine. Some contacts just atrophy naturally. It doesn't mean it wasn't important or memorable, just that there's a lifespan on those connections, and I wish them well. It may be why I'm single and never married with no kids at 53. I have a deep well of empathy, but a shallow pool of connection. I have no idea if that makes me damaged. I get mad when people make things too complicated for no reason, meaning, I have a trigger that goes off when shit doesn't make sense. It's helped me a lot in my career since I am in it and can smell BS from a mile away. Note, I don't actually act on my anger anymore, it's just my spidey sense nowadays.